One of the many gifts my dad gave me was an appreciation and love for the spoken and printed word. He also loved great lyricists for music. I mean, what would George Gershwin have been without the lyrics from his brother Ira Gershwin? Or how about Richard Rodgers without Oscar Hammerstein or Lorenz Hart? Or Elton John, Bernie Taupin, or Carole King without, most of the time, Jerry Goffin. I've always loved great lyricists and popular music. It's a love that came from my dad. And we lost a great talent the other day when we lost Marilyn Bergman, who passed away at 93 after a long illness. She and her husband, Alan, were married 63 years, and theirs was really the kind of love you only read about or write about. Marilyn and Alan Bergman, they wrote about love and passion and friendship and longing, and in a sense, what they represented in their lyrics told us a lot about how they felt for each other. They often wrote lyrics separately in quiet rooms, and then collaborated with ideas and thoughts and words. In my time, there were few lyricists who could match them. And I had the pleasure of meeting Alan and Marilyn numerous times because I was at parties at my friend Melissa Manchester's home. Marilyn and Alan were among Melissa's closest friends. They shared a love of melody and words married together. And Marilyn was devoted to her husband and family, and she understood the power and beauty spoken and sung with words that fueled great melody with meaning and poignance. Just consider some of the lyrics from Marilyn and Alan in songs like Windmills of Your Mind. I mean, it's really something out of Keats or Shelley or Wordsmith. Listen to this. Round like a circle in a spiral, like a wheel within a wheel, never ending or beginning, on an ever-spinning reel, like a snowball down a mountain, or a carnival balloon, like a carousel that's turning, running rings around the moon, like a clock whose hands are sweeping past the minutes of its face, and the world is like an apple whirling silently in space, like the circles that you find in the windmills of your mind. Whew, great stuff. They wrote in unison and thought, but they also wrote with heart and love for each other. And I always felt that much of what they wrote was not so subtly about their own time together. Here is the lyrics from The Hands of Time, Brian's song, you might remember. If the hands of time were hands that I could hold, I'd keep them warm, and in my hands they'd never turn cold. Hand in hand we'd choose the moments that should last, the lovely moments that should have no future and no past. The summer from the top of the swing, the comfort in the sound of a lullaby, the innocence of leaves in the spring, but most of all the moment when love first touched me. Marilyn and Alan were the first couple of music, lyrics, and verse. The two were virtually inseparable. Sure, marriages are flawed, people are imperfect, we know that, but watching them from a distance, I always got the feeling that they thought they were independent people, but they thought and loved as one person. And that love was expressed on a lyric sheet. They expressed at times the fear and doubt of love too, and they did in the beautiful and touching song, How Do You Keep the Music Playing? They wrote, how do you keep the music playing? How do you make it last? How do you keep the song from fading too fast? How do you lose yourself to someone and never lose your way? How do you not run out of things to say? And since you know we're always changing, how can it be the same? And tell me how year after year you're sure your heart won't fall apart each time you hear his name. Their music kept playing decade after decade. They could write playful lyrics like the theme from Maud, and then there's Maud, remember that one? And they could break your heart with sentiment and heartfelt reminiscence. I believe their most acclaimed work was The Way We Were. Memories like the corners of my mind, misty watercolor memories of the way we were. Scattered pictures of the smiles we left behind, smiles we gave to one another for the way we were. Can it be that it was all so simple then, or has time rewritten every line? And if we had the chance to do it all again, tell me, would we? Could we? Memories may be beautiful, and yet what's too painful to remember, we simply choose to forget. So it's the laughter we remember, whenever we remember the way we were. Well, the way they were was the way most of us could only dream of in a love affair that never died until one of them did. Devotion, passion, commitment to each other, and to things that really mattered most in life. Love. And not just romantic love, The Bergmans famously had a love for justice and progressive causes and equality and human kindness. They were hosts to many Democratic fundraisers, spoke openly and fearlessly about intolerance and unfairness. Marilyn Bergman was Alan Bergman's right hand and the right heart. She led and he followed, and sometimes he led and she followed. Her remarkable talents merged with his and left an indelible record of musical collaboration on record that was second to none in their time. You know, Lennon had McCartney. Sometimes one would inspire the other with words or music, but Marilyn had Alan, and they would inspire each other with ideas and literate and powerful lyrics, and the songs became legendary because of those words. Marilyn Bergman was half of the greatest lyricist team in contemporary music history. She is gone now. Alan is 96 years old. He's going to try and press on, but I'm sure it's going to be almost impossible for him to do so because the love of his life, the partner in love and lyric, has passed. But what remains now and forever are the words that will always matter.